Good evening, explorers. This was supposed to happen pretty much right after hitting 5k, but better late than never, I guess. Before we start, I wanted to give a shout out to my boy Jager. He just started his channel and is going to be making content similar to mine, and with me featured in it. I know I've said this a few times already, but I'm really trying to get him some traffic. Anyway, let's get into the Q&A. Starting off, the Cobra45 asks, do you listen to music in the zone? If so, what kind? Sometimes while testing or just going out for some quick footage, I will put on music. Lately it's been MNQN. How many hours do you have in the game? At the time of writing, I have 378. What are your plans for the eventual release of ITR 2? Will you get friends or viewers, or will you try to solo it? I haven't quite decided yet. I will probably go it alone for the first time through. If I do decide to co-op it, I will probably do it as a collaboration with another content creator. We'll see though. Jeffrey Pretch asks, any plans for the channel now that the last major ITR update is out? Yes, I will continue to do challenge runs and informational videos akin to the range. On top of those, I will also now be doing some one-off videos on other VR games. iDonkey asks, which guns do you own IRL? I think I'm going to wait for the IRL range video to answer that question, which will happen, I just got to do some preparation first. Dolores asks, what PC specs do I have? I'm currently running an RTX 2080 Ti, an i9 9900K, 32GB of 3200MHz RAM, and two Samsung 970 EVO Plus NVMe drives. What's my favorite kind of cake? Fuck, I don't know, man. I'm more of a pie guy. Pumpkin pie, to be specific. Bluebird asks, what's your favorite weapon in Into the Radius? Well, it's kind of a tie between the Tokarev, AKM, and Mosin. They all hit the right levels of firepower and accessibility for me. Put them all together and you have a good loadout for pretty much any situation. Fagostick asks, pineapple on pizza, yes or no? No, obviously. Potatoes asks, what does your name mean and how is it pronounced? Well, now it's pronounced Syntheti Hard. And basically it means synthetic lizard, I guess. It used to mean something else, but I changed it for obvious reasons. His Magnificence asks, what is your favorite type of cookie? Oatmeal raisin, but only if they're soft. Sea Doom asks, opinion on Fallout 4. It was alright. I didn't care much for the story or quests, but the gameplay was decently enjoyable. Raw Bacon asks, are you gonna make a Discord server soon? Well, I most certainly want to, but I don't really have a way to moderate it effectively right now. And even then, I don't really know what I could offer you guys there, so it's kind of up in the air at the moment. Astalfo asks, what is your blood type? It's, O negative. Do not tell the blood people. They will come for me. Doug Boink asks, favorite game or game series besides ITR? Honestly, it's kind of a tie between, Fallout New Vegas and Halo Reach. I kind of love both of those games for different reasons. Aussie Dog asks, if you could make a mod for the coming workshop for ITR, what would it be? If I could have one ITR mod be made, it would be to take all of the 2.0 balance and polish and just try to stick it all on the in the 1.0 map and mission structure. That would make me pretty happy. Brad asks, what is your favorite gun in ITR and IRL? Well, I already talked about my favorite ITR guns, but for IRL, it would probably be the PGM Hecate, which I'm sure some of you can guess why since I listed Fallout New Vegas as one of my favorite games. Pingus Gaming asks, how long do these videos take to make? Well, it varies pretty widely. If everything goes well and I can keep focus, it takes around 6 to 8 hours for every 30 minutes worth of video. If things don't go well, it can take a lot longer, and that can be for a variety of reasons. Crazy Cruises asks, why do you keep to just ITR and not Saints and Sinners or Ghosts of Tabor? Well, two reasons. Firstly, I just enjoy ITR the most, and I want to make as much content as I can on it specifically. And two, I'm just having a hard time keeping up with my own schedule right now. Between the new upcoming Zone series, challenge runs, and other side projects, it's just hard to look at other games for anything other than a quick one-off video like I just did with Phasmophobia. Foxio asks, will you ever play non-VR games like Stalker? For the near future, I only plan on making videos on VR content. However, I am thinking about streaming basically whatever I want over on my Twitch, whether it be ITR runs that I don't intend to make videos on, or just other games in general. Also, if you want to see me in some other games, you can pop over on Jager's channel and see me in those videos. He's actually working on an Escape the Backrooms video that we recently recorded, and honestly, I'm pretty hyped for that. It was way more fun and spooky than I expected. You know what? Fuck it. Here, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek clip.
Oh yeah, holy shit.
Oh, hop in. Wait, maybe not. Oh, yep, okay.
This was either a great idea or a horrible one.
I feel like we're being kidnapped. Uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.
Huh.
It tells me it was a bad idea.
My flashlight.
Uh-oh. What the hell? Did you see that?
Oh. Can't see anything.
There's dudes outside chasing him.
Radius Roger asks, what other runs are you planning on doing? Well, after the Cowboy Loadout run is done, which is currently ongoing, I'm going to do a knife-only run. After that, I'm not 100% sure, but I have some ideas. I want to do something with 1.0 again, though. Salik asks, in inches. So, some people say that size doesn't matter, which is true to some extent, but having more inches is generally going to help you out with, you know, what you're trying to do. With that in mind, I would say I prefer the full 20 inches. You get the best bang for your buck that way, you know? Now, I get the appeal of like 16 inches, bit more wieldy and comfortable, I'd say, but anything lower than that, and you're probably just a gremlin with T-Rex arms. Looking at you, Jager, you fucking fun-sized piece of shit. Zevix asks, is the Harvester from a mod or is it vanilla? It's a 1.0 entity that is currently unused by the current game. Stalker mod, however, does re-enable it. And will I ever do a face reveal? Probably not, at least not for a while. A loading screen asks, why do you do such horrible things to yourself? I don't know, man. I guess I just like beating my head against the wall. Knee Music asks, what are your hopes for ITR 2? That's honestly a pretty loaded question, and honestly I'd rather save it for like a full-length video, but essentially I want them to lean into immersion as much as possible, as it's something that they already do notably well. Tom Smith asks, what is your favorite enemy type? Mimics, without a doubt. I find them very engaging to fight and are pretty much the only entities that pose a substantial threat. Sliders are spooky but are very easy to deal with as long as you've got a decent gun. Empire Destroyer asks, what are your thoughts on the 357 Magnum Revolver in the 3 Petro plushies? I think it's a nice little send-off treat before the devs go full tilt into ITR 2 development. Little things matter, and it's definitely appreciated. Caffeinated Gamer asks, what software do you use for editing and recording, and how easy is it to learn? I use OBS for streaming and recording. It's pretty simple and straightforward to use. For editing, I use Movavi. It's a pretty simple and cheap program that I taught myself to use. Pretty good for beginners, I think, but I do plan on switching to something more comprehensive. Carson Schaefer asks, what is your opinion on the great LMG debate? Well, on one hand, it would be pretty cool as an endgame fuck-all gun, but the question is, how the hell would you load it in VR realistically? Like, it would be cool if you had to manually link each round on a belt, but I could also see that being a nightmare for the devs. I guess they could just make like an arbitrary belt box that you just throw bullets into like a normal magazine. I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to having one though. 707 asks, what is the most annoyed you've ever been at ITR? Well, my cowboy run had a good bit of misfortune, but I don't want to speak on that just yet. Besides that though, probably when I fell out of the sky for no reason while playing Stalker Mod. That was pretty fucking ass. Mecha Menace asks, when did you first play Into the Radius, and if so, how many hours do you have on your first save file? So I first played ITR years ago, back in very early 2020 when I first got my index. Back then the game was super jank, like kill or crash you for no reason jank. Initially the state of the game frustrated me, so I stopped playing, until coming back to it pretty much when 2.0 first came out. I have no idea how many hours I had on my first save file, to be honest. If I had to guess, I would probably say probably around like 7 or 8 hours. Raven asks, how old are you? 25. Which country are you from? The US. And do you plan on buying the new Quest 3? No, I do not. I'm pretty happy with the setup I have. If anything, I'd rather put some money into my PC rather than a new headset. I do need new lenses though. Juho asks, have you ever played Boneworks or Bone Lab, and if so, what did you think? Honestly, Boneworks just didn't really hold my attention. It has that sandbox vibe that a lot of VR games are just kind of plagued with. I know that there's, you know, actual levels and shit, but the whole thing just wasn't it for me personally. Plenty of Nothing, this guy's a fellow ITR content creator, you should go check him out, asks, do you wear any tactical gear while playing ITR to make it more immersive? No, but I used to wear an 80-pound vest while playing Blade and Sorcery or Gorn as a workout regimen, since I'm terrified of going to public gyms. I stopped doing that when I moved into a smaller apartment since I just didn't have the room. I should probably start doing that again now that I do. I don't know if it really works all that well, but it sure felt like it did. Preventable Disease asks, would you ever do a video about what kind of gear you need for each zone? Yes, that info will be covered in my upcoming The Zone series. Anyway, I think that's a good place to end it. I just wanted to say thank you all for your unwavering support. This has been an insane year for me, and I have all of you to thank for it. Seriously, I never thought I'd get this far at all, let alone in the span of less than a year. Hopefully we can finish off going strong into 2024. And also, I want to give a special thanks to the ITR community, CM Games, and the content creators that I've come to know on this journey. I see a bright future ahead for us. Until next time, explorers.